This week on Pitt Beyond the Script.
We want to finish strong and make a strong case to make that tournament, and I think we have a good chance.
It's a home. It's a home for them, and it's something that's been long coming here.
It's like a new temple for us, something that we are just feel so privileged to be in.
I thought I came to Pitt to be the defensive coordinator, and honestly, I truly believe I came here to save my life.
All this and more on this edition of Pitt Beyond the Script. It starts as a game, a gathering of friends. And slowly, as some begin to sit back, others stand out. The joy of playing turns to passion. And as the skills develop, so do the minds. And they begin to seek challenges, peers, and mentors to further their abilities and opportunities. The love and passion becomes a thirst for people in a place
we're going to show everybody else in the country who we are.
That will embrace and push. A hunger for excellence.
Clinch the ACC.
And to be in and among champions. These are the dreamers, scholars, leaders. These are the guides, teachers, mentors. And this is the opportunity, the challenge, the place. This is Pitt Beyond the Script.
Panthers just able to dig it, and a kill by Vasquez Gomez.
And that's one of the best swings that we've seen today.
And welcome into this week's episode of Pitt Beyond the Script inside Pitt Studios. I'm Kevin Wheeler here with head volleyball coach Dan Fisher. Dan, fresh off of 2 wins last weekend, how are things right now?
Well, things are good. The wins kind of gave us a little boost just to keep working hard and know that we're training to make these NC2A tournament this year, and that the rest of our games have meaning.
We'll get to that in a second, but I want to flash back to the fall a little bit. Obviously, it wasn't the fall that you necessarily wanted, as there was a lot of turnover on your roster. But I'm curious, what did you learn about your team from the fall season?
Well, fall was just such a weird time. We were one of the only teams, conferences playing, and there was just uncertainty. I think that we were able to train a lot more than other programs, and we weren't shut down very much. And so I think, some of the new players are starting to see, the benefits of having some training block, and some girls really starting to improve.
This is the first time we've seen regular season games being played in the springtime. So I'm curious about the layoff now, between the fall in November to now. What were the benefits of that, and how did you navigate that?
Yeah, I think it was, for us, it's been good. I think, normally a Christmas break, going into an off season, some girls can get out of shape, or but knowing that we had a season coming up, I think was extra motivation, and so I think it's been very productive. And like I said, I think you're seeing some players that have really taken their game to the next level.
So you love playing in the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse, of course, and you got back there last weekend, got the 2 wins. What was your messaging to the team heading into that weekend, and how do you believe they responded to that?
Not so different than other years, but just that, knowing that Georgia Tech has been the best team in our league so far this year, arguably, or the best. And so just a chance to prove ourselves against a really good opponent right away was, I think, the motivation was already there.
Weavers. Vasquez Gomez. It looks like point for the Panthers, and they win this match.
Yeah, you kind of flash forward to the Georgia Tech match, because that really was the highlight of the weekend. And leading into that Monday match with them, the Yellow Jackets had won 26 of 28 coming into that, and you mentioned it. They were at the top of the conference, one of the best offenses in the conference and in the nation, and ranking 6th in the country in hit percent. You held them to a 145 clip on Monday. What does that say about your defense, something that was kind of in a transition mode? Yeah, well, it says 2 things. One is our defense, especially our back row and our serving, was very good, and we were pleased with how all our back row defenders played. I think it also says a little something about how tough our pod was in the fall. We'd been playing some
tough competition a lot, and they were in a slightly weaker pod, and so I think they weren't maybe as used to playing good teams as we were. So I think that helped us.
Tech was number 20 in the rankings coming into that. It was a big match, not just for your team, but for your tournament resume, and there's a lot of things you could apply to it. But internally, what do you think that win means for your team?
Well, we talked about the motivation for the rest of the season, feeling like we can make the tournament. I also think it's, you work really hard in the practice gym, and then you need to be tested, and you need to get those wins to kind of confirm, hey, what we're doing is paying off. And so I think it's, I think it gives new motivation to keep working hard.
First set. And a kill from the outside. Nice play by the Panthers, Jordan Lockwood.
So as you look forward here, the Georgia Tech win bolsters your tournament resume. You said to me it would have been difficult had you not won that game to start thinking about postseason. And it's harder this year than ever before. There's only 16 at-large bids, so the emphasis on conference play is so much higher. So what can you do going forward here? What is your outlook to trying to get to another tournament?
It's a little bit of a mystery how that field's going to be picked, and so we're focusing on, the controllables, and that is this spring season. And, no matter how they look at it, the last 10 are going to be important. And so we're going to, we want to finish strong and make a strong case to make that tournament, and I think we have a good chance.
Dan, thanks so much for joining us this week. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the support. Thanks for having me.
A little bit later, we catch up with Pitt football defensive coordinator Randy Bates as we continue on Pitt Beyond the Script.
We got to be smart. We have to have poise.
The third floor of the Peterson Sports Complex is really a part of the overall Victory Heights vision. And this is phase one. And our first goal was really to get a number of the coaching staff out of the field house into this facility. And the awesome thing about this facility is it was actually originally designed for 3 floors. And from a construction standpoint, it was a fairly easy build to build on top of this facility, and an opportunity really to create a home for the coaches and student athletes.
It's a home. It's a home for them, and it's something that's been long coming here.
It's like a new temple for us, something that we are just feel so privileged to be in.
This 100% is going to elevate our status.
This is really going to be an added resource. We're ecstatic.
It's going to be a fantastic environment.
This building now feels so much more complete. Coaches now have a chance to interact and see their student athletes at times when it's not just on the practice field or just not competing. They're now all in close proximity to where our locker rooms are, our training rooms, our teaching facilities, and certainly all of the practice and competition fields. So it really now feels like home for these 5 sports.
You see how handicapped we were in the other spot, particularly when you get a chance to upgrade here, from just having recruits in or people into your space, just the working space, the fact that you're in a different building than your players, different building than your support staff. So to have it in one spot, it's fantastic.
To pick my favorite space, I can't really pick one, so I have a lot. I love literally the hallway. As you come up the stairwell, and it's just painted, and all the natural light in an old stairwell and how it transformed. So I love walking up to get to the 3rd floor. I absolutely love the Lieberman Lounge. I love the communal table because I think it's a place that student athletes are going to gather. I love the fact that you can go out on the patio and see soccer and softball and see a view of downtown Pittsburgh.
Let's talk about the view for a second. Like, this balcony is probably one of the best pieces of real estate that overlooks our field and the soccer field.
I absolutely love the video room. We've never had a place for coaches to watch film with their student athletes, and the fact that you can have two teams in there with a divided wall.
I think the team room's going to be the biggest bonus for us. You know, that's what we do as coach, and so the video breakdown is going to be a huge advantage for us to have that kind of seating and that kind of spacing.
And then I think I love the different themes and what each coach chose to highlight in their particular coaches' suites. Personally, I like the image of the women's soccer team huddled around a huge win and that team celebration moment.
First of all, the office is phenomenal. A lot of space. I'm not embarrassed to bring recruits and their families in here, and it's just a gorgeous facility.
Tremendous front of staff meetings in the morning, recruiting meetings in there. It's just light years ahead of where we were. And then to have it all while you're looking out over your own pitch, and it's fantastic, very professional setup.
What's great about this project, it really gave us an opportunity to take a look at all the spaces in the Peterson Sports Complex. And because of our new colors and branding, it gave us a chance to really go through and renovate all of the current spaces. So all of the locker rooms got a bit of an upgrade. We obviously added women's lacrosse in the locker rooms there. And then as you walk throughout the facility, you'll see all the messaging, the gold standard, our panther head, the cathedral stripe, and all of those elements, an opportunity to really enhance the brand and showcase what the pride is here at Pitt. I think this facility allows our student athletes to have the best of all the things that they really need to benefit them from a training and physical development standpoint. We have access to our world-class medical staff, our athletic training staff. It's a real enhancement to have the hot and cold tubs. We have a doctor's office there for our student athletes to have an opportunity to meet privately with a doctor. We actually created a real nutrition room. You know, we have full-time nutritionist now who really helps fuel our student athletes pre and post games and pre and post practice. It's just nice to see the pride I think that our staff feels when they come to a place that shows that it really matters what they do and the impact that they have on our student athletes' experience.
To talk about it is one thing, but to show the level of commitment from the administration and what we're building, what we're doing here at Pitt, it shows that we're doing things first class.
We gotta be smart. We have to have poise. What? 1, 2, 3, what?
Ironhead had personality, and that personality showed up on the field and how he played the game.
Ironhead was just a big kid. You know, he enjoyed life, always had a smile on his face, a very effervescent, upbeat personality.
Craig had a great outgoing personality.
How could you not like Craig Hayward?
However, we knew that underlying that great personality was a very confident and determined young man.
He was bigger than life, and he played like it.
He was a sports car with the body of a semi-truck.
powerful legs, big shoulders.
He had the spin move, he had the quick feet.
You look at him, you wouldn't think this was a breakaway running back or a guy with the agility and the moves that he had.
But certainly he was hard to bring down.
This is Hayward. Look at the big man go.
Light on his feet, a determined runner. I think he could have played defense had they asked him to do that.
After leaving Pitt, Ironhead had an outstanding pro career. #1 draft choice of the New Orleans Saints, played 11 years in the NFL.
He was a rare combination of professionality, athleticism, and humanity.
He was a Panther.
We are truly grateful for the construction partner with PJ Dick, and the quality of work is extraordinary. You know, I want to give a special thank you to Bill and Sissy Lieberman. I'm sitting in the Lieberman Lounge, and I cannot tell you what a transformative experience it is for student athletes to come and gather here. It's just a place where I think genuine relationships between student athletes will happen, and they have a chance to walk down the hallway and see their coaches and build relationships outside of the field. And I don't know that you can place a dollar value on that relationship building opportunity.
And we want our players to be around and come around the office on a more regular basis to be even more comfortable with us. So I think this is really going to add to that.
The office space, #1, seeing the daylight here in Pittsburgh. We can enjoy that sunshine, or as I call it, 75 and sunny.
Like, this is our home, and now we have a place that we can actually be in and feel like we're a part of the athletics program here.
So we're really grateful. We could not do these types of projects without the generous support of our donors. One of my favorite elements to the facility is the new Victory Tower. And I know everybody knows about the cathedral lights, which we light up every time we have a football win or an ACC championship win. But here at the Peterson Sports Complex, we created a Victory Tower, and it's lit white with our cathedral stripes. But whenever a team here at the Peterson Sports Complex wins, we will change the white lights to blue. And so as you drive by, you can certainly see the Victory Tower at night. And when it's blue, you'll know that a team won that given day. And again, it's just a visible representation of the importance of competing and winning and striving to get better every day at what we do. One of my colleagues said, hey, we can win here with this facility now. And so I think this demonstrates our commitment to excellence. And certainly as it relates to other ACC facilities, there's no question that we are catching up with our competition. This was a much needed addition for these sports, and it really gives you a demonstrated, visible way to show that these sports matter. And this is a chance for us to really make a commitment to the 5 sports that practice and compete out of this particular facility.
Hi everyone, my name is Dejovia Davis, and I'm a junior here at the University of Pittsburgh, and this is my Pitt story. I actually committed to Pitt without seeing the campus, without taking a tour, without visiting Pittsburgh at all. I kind of just took a whim and took those 13 hours, drove up here, got here, committed, and I loved it as soon as I walked on campus. The people were so kind, everybody was so welcoming, and it already felt like home, even though I had never visited before. I think coming to Pitt has really opened up opportunities for me that I don't think I would have gotten anywhere else, whether that be on campus or off campus, so I am extremely grateful for that. I knew I wanted to be a basketball manager in some capacity or work with basketball. I knew when I went to college I wanted to continue with the sport even though I wasn't playing the sport. And I ended up coming on towards the end of that first season, my first year, and then continued on, learned, grew, and now I'm in the head student manager position and making connections. I'm in a manager connection group with people all around the nation, and I really want to get more involved with that because I know it's something I want to do in the future. I think the one thing that surprised me is that I connected so well to the campus. When I thought about college, I kind of just thought like my courses, like, okay, I'll do A, B, and C, and then I'll graduate. But I didn't realize how great the college experience would actually be and how much Pitt would actually help me develop not only professionally, but personally, and like how I grew myself, my mindset, whether that be in my courses or with my jobs or with different things that I got involved with on Pitt's campus. It's really developed me as a whole person, and I really was not expecting that. I kind of just thought I would come here, learn a few things in class, and then graduate. But I have definitely grown a lot as a person, and I'm super glad to continue to develop.
We gotta be smart. We have to have poise. One, two, three.
On the whistle, guys, keeping the band on. You're flipping in a quadruped position with your heads towards the middle. Get there fast.
Right now, we're kind of in that phase getting ready for spring football practice. So our guys are spending the majority of their time with our strength and conditioning coaches.
We got forward, reactive, okay? Over the hurdles. Spring, land, okay?
This is really a big physical developmental phase for our players. We get the opportunity to work with them a little bit on the field in an aspect of conditioning. We're limited in how much actual football we do with them.
Slow, good. You want to be fast, it's just tall, relaxed running.
A lot of our guys are putting in a ton of extra time as they want to work to perfect their knowledge of the playbook. So these guys are all volunteering to come over and spend extra time, which is one of my favorite parts of the day. And we leave time open for them to come in and have some individual meetings throughout the course of the day.
Let me see what you got, boss. Drop your knee. Now you're moving. Now you're moving.
So we're really kind of gearing up for spring football while they're developing their bodies.
We got to be the most violent group ever. It's got to be the most dominant game ever up front. We got to play more physical than they do. Let's go from play one and then get home and let's do it again.
Welcome back to Pitt Beyond the Script alongside defensive coordinator Randy Bates. I'm Rob King. Thanks very much for being with us. Coach, let's start with your defense. Again, another top 20 ranked defense. What was it like coaching the team this year?
Oh, Rob, the kids just were incredible with what was going on with COVID and all the situations outside of football. I thought the kids handled it great. We were consistent, which is what we try to do. We had a couple games over the course of 11 that we didn't play quite as well, but the object of being good on defense is being consistent. And I felt we did that, and that's what makes you a top 20 defense.
We can't wait for the NFL draft. I'm sure you can't wait to see some of your guys. I mean, Twyman, who obviously didn't play this year, but then Weaver and Jones and Hamlin, all guys that are expected to be going in the NFL draft. And again, a feather in the cap of Pitt and the program as well.
No doubt. One thing that's really nice for us is we tell the players all the time that our job is to get them their goals. And so we have them put goals down. And obviously, these guys have pretty high goals playing the NFL. And so we tell them that if we can get them their goals, we usually get our goals as coaches and as a defense. And we're hopeful, we're excited, I guess, that the draft is coming up and these guys are all getting talked about. And that just shows that we play well on defense when those kids get drafted and they stand out. And that's what this defense is all about.
And now Cunningham trying to go up over the top, and it's intercepted. Coming back is Marquez Williams with the interception.
When you go on the recruiting trail, and I know it's more like the recruiting phone or Zoom or whatever.
It is this year,
now,
for sure.
Right. Are kids starting to take notice of, wow, this is a top 20 defense. They play a fun, aggressive style. Guys are getting sent to the NFL. I mean, I would think that would, perk up the ears of potential recruits.
For sure. I think as you look at stats, and people might argue other places, but we believe in our goal on defense is to be the most aggressive defense in the country, and leading the country in sacks, tackles for loss, being a top 10 defense or top 20, depending on the year, but being one of the best run defenses in the country. I think we were 3rd this year. To lead the country in sacks, to lead the country in tackle for loss, interceptions, those are big plays. And that's what we try to do with our defense, is to make big plays. And when you make big plays, you get noticed. And we believe that helps us to be more aggressive. And so I think it helps. I believe it does. That's what we're shooting for. And if we can lead the country in all those categories, we're on the right track.
It was a couple of years ago that Coach Narduzzi did what he always does before spring practice and says, go get a physical. You went and got a physical and found something out. Can you tell us about that? Were you eager to take the physical? Were you reluctant to take the physical? And then
Sure. Well, I've coached almost 40 years now, and most places, and really us as men, don't want to go get a physical. We think, we're going to be fine. You get something's bothering you, you just assume the next day you'll be fine. And we all think, we're made of Under Armour or some kind of armor. But what happened is Coach Narduzzi, because his father had cancer and was a famous coach and let it go, demands of all of us that we go get a physical. And I think that's a tremendous thing. And honestly, we come back from spring break several years ago, and it was 2 years ago, right around now. And it's like, you haven't got your physical yet, Bates. And I'm like, I don't have time. We're getting ready for spring ball. I don't have time. And I literally have to go downstairs. And I go downstairs, pissing and moaning. And, Doc takes a look at me, and I had a little lump right here. And he's like, I don't think it's any big deal, but let's go get it checked. And a MRI led to a PET scan, led to all these different biopsies. And 4 or 5 days later, I turn out I have cancer right here. And so I go in for surgery, and they take out 50 lymph nodes, and 150 stitches later, I have cancer, and they've taken out my tonsil right here. And then I go through radiation and chemotherapy, and it was a grueling year. But about a year later, I was diagnosed as cancer-free. And it's a great blessing. And I would tell you all the time, I thought I came to Pitt to be the defensive coordinator, and honestly, I truly believe I came here to save my life. And so, it's a great thing, and I'll always be indebted to Coach Narduzzi. And I would just suggest to anybody here listening, don't put it off. Go get your physical every year. Take care of your life, because if you don't, it's going to be fatal sooner or later, but let's make sure it's later.
Oh, great message for sure. One final question about your football team. You're getting ready for spring practice.
Yes, sir.
You're losing some of the wonderful players we just talked about. Anything you're looking to do, build upon? Is it just a matter of getting out there and seeing what you have right now?
We do. The beautiful thing with our defense, we lose 2 All-Americans at defensive end. We lost a defensive tackle All-American, but we place so many guys on the defensive line that I truly believe we have a lot of experience coming back. All of our linebackers are back. We're blessed there again. We just need to replace depth more than anything, and that's what spring ball is all about.
Can't wait to watch it. Coach Bates, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks to you for watching this edition of Pitt Beyond the Script.
Stay together, stay within yourself, and go make plays. I love you guys. You got him, Ham.